So my house is in a little bit of upheaval right
Oh yeah.
now because my daughter is redoing her bedroom.
Ooh.
It's so funny. My daughter doesn't ask for anything from us. And she's like, she finally pulled out, "You spend all this money on my brother. Can can I have a new bedroom? Can we wallpaper, please, and paint? And can I get a new dresser? And can I get a new vanity?" And like she's got all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, now you're pulling out the car. She's 14.
Good for
She's
her.
smart. She's not stupid.
Yeah.
She knows. And I was so proud of her. I'm like, what else do you want, Mads? Whatever else you want, we're gonna get it for you. So the painters are coming tomorrow, and it's kind of crazy, but you know, but when this episode comes out, it'll be Happy Thanksgiving
There you
tomorrow.
go.
So happy
Happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. So it'll be come out on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So I'm the old days, and if anybody is young, listen to this. Be careful tonight. I know you're gonna go out and party. It's fun time.
Oh, Wednesday night before Thanksgiving was the best. When I came home from college, oh, that was the best night to go hang out.
You
It's
know
the
what was
best.
cool about it was like you got to come back home and like see not only your family but all the people that you didn't get to see and all these, and it was like this one night to rekindle relationships, knowing you're gonna be home safe at warm bed next day, and it was like that's that's a different kind of going out and having fun. It wasn't, yes, the partying was a great thing, but it was like who you got to party with, you lost that for a while because you were away doing something else. So it was a nice way to reconnect with people.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome coming home for those things.
So
Okay, he's a one.
if you're gonna reconnect tonight,
Yeah.
make the most of it. Because I'll tell you, when you have kids like we do, that shit goes away. Doesn't have to, but it does for
Yeah,
us.
we don't do that stuff. We don't get to do that
Well, isn't
stuff.
it?
It's crazy.
It's surprising how many. So there's a bunch of business owners I know that still go out and party, and they're the same age or older than us, even some of them. And I always wonder, like, what do they look like when they're out partying? Like, where are you going? One of our clients now, he's still into EDM music, which God bless him, he loves it and everything. I mean, I'll listen to it in the car, but I don't know if I'm going to a club. Like,
Yeah, that's good.
like
That's
I'm
good.
like, turn the music down, pal. I know sometimes I act old, and then in my car I act like young, but there's that. There's other guys that are going to festivals and stuff, and like I love that they love it. I love that they weren't saying to themselves like, "Ah, I'm older and I'm not gonna do it anymore." So it's kind of fun to watch successful business owners of clients of ours get to still live like a kid with adult money.
Yeah. That is fun, and I think of, like, the baby boomers, right? Like, my parents, your parents, like, that generation still likes to go out and party. They like to go to bars, they like to go play, rock and roll music. I mean, my father-in-law is playing in a band up until, like, 3 years ago. He's 75 now. He'll be 75 next month. And he was playing in a rock. He plays electric guitar, and like he was jamming out to the hits from the 60s and 70s, and that's rock and roll music. And it's cool. But it is such it's a cool experience that people stick to the thing that they love, and they still go to the concerts, and they still go to all these festivals and all that stuff. I was never into that scene, and it's like I don't think I'll ever be into that scene. Like I'm like I'm good just going out and just standing at a bar and having a few drinks and just socializing with people. And it's funny. One of the bars here in my town, at like 10 o'clock at night on a Friday and Saturday night, turns into like 60-year-old guys looking for new women,
Oh,
and
good for them.
they're 40 something divorcees and 50 something divorcees. It's become like this little club spot. And, and one of my friends made a joke, dude, I was just walking out of there and I got pregnant. That's how horny the guys are. So I said to my wife, I said, we should just go and people watch because we love to do that.
That's
And that
funny.
would be a lot of fun to
That
make
would
up
be
those
fun.
kind of stories for sure.
Yeah, until you're getting picked
But
up by a 60-year-old cougar, Tom, and then your
yeah,
wife's like, "We gotta
exactly.
go.
I
We gotta
know,
go."
right?
You know, it's funny, because you were talking about you weren't into that scene. I explored so many different things. Like, I went with people to like goth clubs. I wasn't a fan at all, but I tried it out. I went to a lot of raves and stuff like that. It was a good time. It was
Hmm.
fun. I went to the normal bar scene. I did all the wacky stuff, house parties. I tried a variety of different evening hour entertainment things. I tried all this stuff. And the funny thing is, my absolute favorite thing to do, we still do in a different way. But my absolute favorite thing to do was like go to someone's house, sit in the backyard, and have a conversation while there's either music playing or a fire going, or it was always a smaller collection of people. I used to have parties at my house for Monday Night Football, and people would come over, and yeah, there was
Right.
drinking and stuff like that, but it was like, it was a vibe, it was a conversation. And almost everything that we do is built in that manner now. It's like our
Hmm.
dinner super group meetings that we do is pretty much one of my favorite things that I did when I was younger.
Really?
Yeah, the morning meeting stuff that we do, like, that stuff I used to do all the time. I didn't
Wow.
put it together until now.
Wow, that's brilliant.
Like,
So you see, you don't let go of the things that work for you and that bring you they bring you energy, right? So like, is that what it is? It always brought you energy to be in those type of
well,
settings?
I think it was more meaningful. Like, I'm even remembering my friend Keith Moore. If you listen to this, what's up, pal? We live an hour and a half from each other, and we haven't seen each other in too long. So he and I used to go out to like I don't know what you would call them. I guess like house music clubs and stuff like that, trance music, house music, like that kind of stuff. And we would go back to his house with a crew of people. I couldn't wait to leave the club to go back to his house, and he had this like Florida room in the backyard that we would hang out and have real conversations. I mean, we'd be twisted up, but we would have real conversations. And it was like the music and the dancing and the people were all fun. But then we go back and it'd still be music and it'd still be vibes, but we'd have more meaningful conversation. And those are the people that became friends, not just people you went out and partied with.
Mm,
And that's what it's
right.
always been. That's what my basketball team was. You know, it was like we worked our asses off and then we'd go out and have fun together. What were we gonna say?
You're hitting on something, but finish saying what you were
We go out
saying.
and have fun together, but we knew more about our resilience. We knew more about for the basketball team. We knew the work ethic we had. We knew the value we had to each other. So when we had fun, that fun was more meaningful because we knew we had each other's back and why and what the character of that type of person was. So when we would go and do our own little thing outside of basketball, it really it meant something, you know. And I can even remember a cohort at MetLife when I was there, though that group of us became more meaningful to each other too.
What you're hitting on so much is the meaningfulness of everything. And that is the constant thing that I see from you every single day that we get to work together. You are always looking for the meaningfulness. Like, what does this mean? Like, what am I doing? What does it mean? Like, and meaningfulness is what builds the connection. It's what brings the energy and what really is what we need to sustain our whole business. Is if we don't know why we're doing something, we don't have meaning behind it, it doesn't work. Like you have and that's why I think, like, those type of situations never worked for me either, because I was looking for that meaningfulness, right? Like, when I was growing up, even as a teenager, like, when I was growing up, I was very involved in my church and, like, I was in the youth group, and that was my place where I found meaning, right? That was the place that I got to have these incredible conversations that with my peers, and I think that is very similar to what you're explaining, and then I looked for that even in college. I didn't do all the crazy things, but I did some of the crazy things, but I was always looking for meaningful opportunities to have an impact on and change the way things were and make things better, and that's what we're about. We're about that meaningful connection, and this is why it's so important that when we work with people that they're in alignment with who we are as much as we're in alignment with they are, because that meaningfulness there is so much more effective in helping somebody to get to where they want to be a better version of themselves.
Yeah, that's truly what we've created in this business world now. And it's like these amazing dinners that we have. You know, we had one a few weeks ago, and it was just incredible. We sat at this beautiful restaurant in these very nice high back leather chairs in a very unique environment. And we're served incredible tasting menu of food with no table, by the way. It was like you just sat there and ate it in the circle while we talked. And but the conversation started with everybody on a superficiality, and then they looked at themselves almost like, "Wait a minute, I'm allowed here to go deeper?" And they did, and then it was like, "Oh, okay." And you watch the vibe of the room where it's people are given permission to go beyond the surface. And I think that's what it's always been for me in my life is whether I had this ability where people felt comfortable in front of me, or I was vulnerable enough in front of them, or whatever it has been, I've been given this gift
Mhm.
to have these more deep conversations, meaningful conversations with people. And I really don't know why it is, but when I get an opportunity to do that instead of just one on one in a group, and the group is all into it, it's like it's incredible. And it's hard to just snap your fingers and create that.
Because it unlocks so much. Like, when people realize they have permission to go deeper, right? I mean, we always say this, ask questions, but deeper, right? That's what we do as coaches. We ask questions, but deeper. And we go deeper because we want to get to the most vulnerable place that most people can live, whatever they could possibly live at, because that's when the inhibitions go away. That's when we start to see more authentic people, more authentic approaches. It's less superficial. It's this deeper connection, and that's what allows us to be so effective in our work, is getting to that deeper connection. Because if we can get to that deeper connection, we're removing a lot of that noise that we talk about. We're removing and we're really tuning into the signal, and what that deeper connection, it really becomes a soul connection. It's not this superficial ego connection. It's more of that soul deep connection. And when we get in tune with that, we say we're intuitive coaches. And the reason that we are intuitive coaches is because we use our intuition to help that person when we can get to that level, to really give them what they need and be impactful. And I think I've seen that a lot lately with a lot of the people we're working with more recently. We saw it the other night, last night, with one of our California clients. He something just struck a chord and he got deeper. We saw that with, we had all California yesterday. That's so funny. Our Tuesdays are
Well,
California days. It's so
every other
funny.
Tuesday, it's like California Tuesday.
Yeah, it's California Tuesday, and it's like we're drawn to California. So if you're in California and you haven't reached out to us, give us a call.
Seriously, we only got 3
Um,
there. We have
y y
plenty on the we have some openings.
yeah, and it's
We don't
it's
have anybody
funny,
from
but
up north, though. We need North California.
yeah, we need Northern
Yeah, we
California.
have the rest.
Yeah, we do. We have LA and San Diego.
Mhm. 2 LA, yeah, 2 LA, 1 San Diego.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that meaningful connection is what allows the intuitive work to really take place.
So it's interesting as you were talking, I started thinking and realizing, like, having something and I think the when you have the ability, whether it's, in a group of cool people that you hang out with or clients or employees or family, whatever it is, it's like when you have that ability to go beyond the superficial and get really deep and have that vulnerability, there's more discovery, right? And in that discovery, there is understanding. And I think if there's a continuation of that conversation, you can lower entropy, right? You can remove chaos.
Mhm.
Not because you're gonna fix problems or because you're gonna, all of a sudden bring in tactics or systems or this or that. I think you can just lower entropy from understanding. Like I can understand where you're coming from now, so it's not as chaotic because without understanding that trying to have progress, whether it even is a conversation or working on something or doing something, without the understanding, it's hard to move forward because of I can't see the direction. I can't see the maze. And when you have the ability to open up, have deeper conversation, it's still a maze, but you understand which directions to go now.
Right, you know how to navigate it. You get the deeper you go, the better the map becomes
Yeah,
on
exactly.
what the road forward is. I mean, that's always the case. Like, we've seen that in every situation. The more we can uncover, because this is about seeking understanding. Like, we constantly say, like, growth, growth to me a lot of times is just seeking understanding, wanting to know what makes this person think this way, feel this way, act this way, so that I can understand, oh, and then pull out the map to help them get to where they wanna be, because that's what coaching is all about. We wanna bring people to where they wanna be. We wanna give them back their lives, but we gotta understand what how they work and how they how they speed up or slow down, and we have to understand that, and we can't understand any of that unless we can get deep and understand exactly who they are.
Well, and not only understand who they are, but through that conversation and that permission and vulnerability, understand who you are, who we are, right?
Correct.
So because there's a
Mhm.
quote that because you're talking about growth, what growth is and what personal growth is having the ability to learn to lie less to ourselves, right? And if you stop lying to yourself, if you learn to stop lying to yourself, I don't mean lying to people like the sky is red, like, oh, okay, that's it. I mean lying to yourself, like, I'm really gonna do this thing today. Or, I'm really gonna start this business, or I'm really gonna spend more time with my kids, or you're just lying to yourself. And that's what personal growth is learning to stop doing that. It doesn't mean you stop improving, but learning to stop lying and just dealing with the facts. And that's really, I think, what going beyond the superficial is, going beyond and
Mhm.
getting deep into things and having that vulnerability. It gets harder and harder and harder for you to lie to yourself out loud.
Yes. No, yeah, 100%, 100%.
Yeah, because you feel
We
like
which
you're in a spot where it's like, okay, it's safe for me to just be honest here. It's safe for me to tell
correct.
everything. And a lot of people aren't lying to themselves, but maybe they're omitting the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
it's they're not fully telling the truth. It's missing. They're only telling parts of the
yeah,
truth.
and a lot of it's not, and I'm saying lying, but that's not what I mean. It's like you're trying to constantly convince yourself of some false reality.
Right.
And when you go
Which
deeper, it's hard to do that.
which a lot of people who have very difficult limiting beliefs can struggle with, right? Because if you have these really deep limiting beliefs, that creates this false reality that you're lying, quote unquote, lying to yourself about. And if you can't get to the root cause of where that came from, right? I think I said it to one of our clients the other day. Like, his dad was saying that he didn't believe something about his own son that his son did believe, but because he was looking for approval from his father, he adopted that belief and took on that limiting belief that somebody else imposed upon him when he knew that was not the right thing. But when we were able to dig deeper, he was able to remove that barrier. He was able to remove that limiting belief and really get to the core of what he believed and recognize that he could not take on what somebody else imposed on him. And it was all about approval of himself, and that's what we all have to do is we have to focus on, if we're going to be truthful, if we're going to grow, if we're going to develop, however you want to say it, we have to be able to tell ourselves the truth. But more importantly, a lot of times truth comes from what we believe. And if that belief is rooted in the need for approval from somebody else, then it's something that's going to destroy us. We have to approve of ourselves. We have to see ourselves as, I am good enough. I am all these things that I'm working on. I am able to do all this stuff. And I don't need anybody else to say good job, or I don't need somebody else to say I'm proud of you. It's nice to hear those things, and yes, that's nice validation when it happens, but if that's what you need to become the person that is the better version of you, you're creating a false identity almost. You have to allow yourself to just approve of yourself.
But that I think sometime is the problem. Like you're saying before, you have to prove to these other people. But then I think a lot of people have to prove to themselves, and just to get up out of bed to do the thing they think they have to do, I think they have to lie to themselves a little bit. They're like, "Oh, I have to," there's that old cliche, "Fake it till you make it," which is a crock of shit, right? Like, don't ever fake it till you make it, right? We've built something different called believe, behave, become, and it's like, believe that you're gonna become that thing. Like, believe it, right? But really believe it. Don't believe you already are. Believe you're really gonna become that thing, but then behave the way the people that will become that thing behave. Like, do the work, and then you will become it, right? So it's not fake it till you make it. It's have a commitment that I wanna become this thing, and I'm gonna do the work that's required, and guess what? You'll become it. Like, that's kinda how it happens. Now, it may take you 3 decades to become it, or it may take somebody else 3 weeks, but you will really become it, and I think that's the thing. It's like when you're trying to prove to yourself, like, "I'm gonna get up and go do this thing. I need the courage." I think that's what it is. I need the courage. There's a lot of
Mm,
lying to yourself, which then kinda stunts the personal growth.
yeah, courage is a big part of it, right? Like when we set an intention to do something, we then are faced with, okay, are you really gonna do it? Are you gonna be able to break out of this? Are you gonna be able to change this? And that's where the courage happens. That's where you need courage is to go through with it sometimes, to just prove to yourself. And again, this is just proving it to yourself, nobody else, just proving it to yourself that you can. And then because you're courageous and you let go of whatever fear holds you back and you let go of whatever other people are saying and you let go of all those things, you can actually start to take the actions that are needed to move you and gain the momentum that you want to gain to get to where you want to go. And but that takes a lot. It takes a lot of courage to be able to do that. Business owners are the most courageous people I know. They don't see it that way, but they are the most courageous people I know. My father-in-law says it to me all the time. He goes, I could not do what you do, he said, and you are very courageous for the what you do. You know, he says it's biggest compliment he's ever given me. And see, I'm validating, but not looking for his approval. I've never looked for his approval, but he just says these things, and it really is amazing to hear someone say that I'm courageous because I don't think of it as courage. I just think of it as intention and action, and I just do it, right? And that's what we
Yeah,
do.
but courage is a very, very funny thing, because,
Mhm.
courage requires fear.
Oh, yeah.
No, but, like, you can't have courage and
There's
hold
no
on, here,
fear.
let me you can't have courage when you need it. You only have courage when you did what you needed already.
Mm. Whew, that's a mind blower.
Well, think about that. If someone says, "I'm gonna
Yeah, that's
start
so
my"
true,
if someone says, "I'm gonna I need the courage to start my business." Well, you don't have it until you started your business.
right?
Before that, you were just scared shitless,
Correct.
right? If someone's like, "Hey, I wanna try out for the baseball team. I need the courage to try out for the baseball team. I need the courage. I need" you don't have it until the moment you try it out. It's already done. Like, it's gone. The courage is gone the
Right.
moment you use it. It's see ya. It's not a lasting thing. You now I was courageous. So there's not I want to work towards getting this courage. It's the moment it's gone.
That's such a very interesting perspective.
It's just a second, a millisecond. It's just one little thing and it's gone. And that's why people are so worried about getting started. I need the courage. I have to do these things. And it's like the moment you did it, the moment you started, you can you could look backwards and be like, wow, I was pretty courageous there. And then you're doing it. This is why I always have the phrase do the thing. It's like if you move beyond it, if you're fearful of it, if you're nervous about it, if you just do the thing, you've crossed the threshold of I need courage.
Right, right. I've never thought of it that way. Like, if you courage is the action step in the presence of the fear, and then once you do it, it's gone.
Gone forever
It's gone.
for that thing, gone.
What an interesting yeah, what an interest like, that just blew my mind. It's so true, though.
Think about the
We
thin
think
line it is,
we build it up so much. It's a split second action,
and then gone.
and then it's
And
gone.
all the buildup, all the fear that's there, like that
Right.
stress, that anxiety, that pressure, that fear, that
Yeah.
nervous energy, all the things you have, the moment you do it, it's gone. You can no longer be fearful. It's just happening. And that's why I say do the thing.
Huh. I get the image of walking a tightrope across a canyon,
It's funny, I was thinking
right?
about jumping off a cliff with a parachute, hopefully, but jumping off a cliff,
So we're thinking of those high type of
high
activity
risk.
where you're so fearful to the moment you step on that wire and you walk across, that's the courage, and you got to the other side, it's gone, it's over. There's no more courage. You did the thing. Huh. Why is this, like, blowing my mind
I
right
I
now?
I'm so excited that I'm blowing Tom's mind. This is great.
Like, this is because I never because we don't I don't think I've ever thought about courage as a momentary thing before. It's such a momentary thing because it's the thing courage is the action. I've never seen it as the action. Hmm. Well, that is a mind blower there.
It's awesome. I hope someone listened to this, his mind is blown just as much.
Somebody's like, "What the fuck is wrong with that guy Tom? He's losing his shit, man." Like, why is he getting so crazy? Because this to me is mind blowing. Because it goes back to like you have to have the courage to take the
Yeah.
action. No, no, no. It's not the courage to take the action. You have to have the fear to take the action. The action is the courage.
You know, we sell a T-shirt that says courage on it, right?
Do we?
No, it says "Do the thing."
Oh, do the thing. Yeah, that's the shirt we sell. Do the thing.
That's
Right.
it, that's courage.
That's it. That's the courage. Holy shit. That is a mind blower. Well, I hope everybody listening to this is mind is blown as much as mine is.
Well, it's like I said, it's a funny thing, it's a strange thing, and there's many things, but this is all these meaningful, deep conversations, like, this is the wacky, path that I go on with people or myself or listening to some shows or podcasts or whatever. It's like, when you start to really investigate, right? When you look deep into stuff, it's like, there's some things that were right there, 6 inches in front of your face your whole life, and you're like, "What? What's going
Yep.
on here?" And that's what's been
Well, I
so
love
much fun about getting together in these small intimate groups and having the
right.
real the honor to coach some incredible people across this planet and people really willing to introduce us to new people in these other environments.
Yeah.
And it's like, whew, like the places you can go for new understanding, new knowledge, the more people I meet and the more knowledge I get, the less I realize I know, less exposure I understand I have actually had in my 46 years of life and 25 years of doing business. I'm like, wow, I'm really like just getting started. And it's funny. Then I'll talk to people and like, my gosh, you have accomplished so much. You have done so much. You have learned so much. You know so much. And it's like, if you only knew how little I know, but you won't know that until you know as
Right.
much as me. It's funny.
Correct. Yeah, it is. It is. That's what I love about these dinners that we have. You know, we have a core group of 5 guys and everybody brings a guest and you show up and you meet 5 new business owners or 4 new business owners that you never met before, and you hear their story, and you recognize how insignificant you are, right? You realize, "Holy cow, I haven't what world am I living in? How did I miss that?" Because you meet some of these very impressive people. We've met very impressive people, we've met people in all walks of life, and if you ran into them on the street you'd be amazed at the story that follows them. You'd be amazed at some of the stories that we've heard. I mean, the one of the guys that we met the other night that makes, is generating 15 million a month. Like, if I walked past that guy on the street, I would have thought he was just like anybody
Yeah.
else. And you don't, it gives you such an appreciation that you don't know everybody's story, and you never should assume anything. And it really is a powerful thing, but that's what the meaningful connection then becomes because it's something you least expect that you allow yourself to open up to and be vulnerable to, and that's where the meaningful connection comes from.
And the funny thing is that's why it has, maybe internally, Tom, looked like it's so difficult for us to acquire new clients is because there has to be. I'm glad we recognized recently that people we work with, 2 requirements, they have to be smart and spiritual. so they can play this game with us, right?
Right.
But it's that there's a lot of meaning behind it. In order to play that game, you have to kinda be open to doing that. You don't have to know how to do it, but you have to be
Yep.
open to doing that, and that has been
Open
the
to
key,
it.
and that's why a lot of the superficial ways we've gone about things, have frustrated us because we know what we can do for people, and we know and then we come about it in a very superficial way, whether it's I'm just gonna throw some things out there like, social media advertising or, email campaigns and things like that. And we get frustrated because we're like, wow, this it might work, but not the way we want it to, and not with the people we want it to do. And then it's like there's a reason because we just don't operate that way. But on the flip side of that, that's why the majority of our clients stay with us for a very long time, if not forever. Right? It's because there's so much deeper meaning to it. And it's funny, back when I owned my financial planning firm, my real mission was building a multi-family office. If you don't know what a family office is, that's where um, a financial advisor, a financial planner handles everything for one family. That's what a family office is like. I would say the Rockefellers, but too many people don't know what that is. Imagine if Elon Musk had one team that handled all of his finance. They're the only client that one team would have. That's all they'd need to do. That's what a family office is. A multifamily office is where you have a certain amount, and I was building a 24 family multifamily office. I had hundreds, thousands of clients, and I was narrowing them down to like these 24 that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. And the goal was in at 2034. Okay, that was the date that I was going to eliminate everybody but the 24. And the thing was is everybody who I had chosen up to that point, it wasn't about their wealth. It wasn't about the amount of problems that they needed. It was about the meaningfulness that we had when we spent the massive amount of time together. And lucky enough that I was able to guide them towards generating a shit ton of wealth. But that wasn't the origin point. The origin point was never like, "Oh, you have a lot of money and I can really help you with a lot." The origin point was like, "Oh, we're on the same frequency, and if we spend time together, we can all win even more." And it's just changed over to here now in a different way. Instead of dealing with balance sheets, even though we still deal with balance sheets and P&Ls and all that, it's not so much on investments and mitigating tax exposure and planning out distribution strategies and how do we sell our business with the best EBITDA. And I'm not doing all that stuff anymore, but it's more about the person. So there's a different plane that I get to play on now.
You know, this conversation has really let me realize how essential meaningful connection is for us. It's the third criteria. It's smart, spiritual, seeking meaningful connection. It's like it's almost like we can't ignore that. And that's why some of the things that we do that don't have that level of connection are really struggles and painful for us to go through. Like social media, like things like that, like because there is a so superficial, it's not meaningful. And we're trying to build meaningful connections. We're trying to build a relationship, but people are so reluctant to that because of the way in which it's approached. That's why when we go to these dinners and we go to our networking events that we create and we run and facilitate, it's because we bring the meaningful connection idea and we're not bringing that superficiality to it. That's you just hit something like that's how I would summarize like our whole business right now is don't just help you, we build meaningful connection with you so that you have more meaningful connection in your world because it's very hard as business owners to have that. We all talk about that. We all say it. I don't hear a business owner that doesn't say I'm lonely. We talked about the lonely chapter, but it's the meaningful connection that replaces that loneliness.
All right, dude. Now we have to both go back and listen to our own podcast.
Ah,
So funny.
it
Hey,
is, my friend. It's so true.
listen, if you're listening, thanks, man. We appreciate that because this is what we
Yeah.
want to do. We just want to have some, that's funny, I'm saying it, but we want to have meaningful conversations that hopefully have some they resonate with you a bit. They have meaning for for you. So if this has had any kind of meaning to you, reach out to us. Like you can go to just go to my LinkedIn, right? Go to LinkedIn. It's Adam Thomas Atomic or something like that.
It's in the
Go
show
to
notes.
go to Tom.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in the show notes. Go to Tom Marino. Like reach
I
out to
always put it
us.
in the show
Send
notes.
us a DM. And just tell us like, hey, what you guys are doing is awesome. Of course, we want to work with people. We want clients and stuff like that if they're smart, spiritual, and are seeking a meaningful connection. But, you just say what's up, like, that's cool. We appreciate it. Um, we like to know that we're not talking into the void. We get statistics from all the platforms and everything, but who the hell knows what those mean, you know? So, thanks. I really do. I genuinely appreciate it.